just empathy for them. Missing a penalty is the main thing.
When you write something on the web, it's there, and then all of a sudden it creates a chain.
It's easy for people to hide behind politics. For me, that's people not understanding the message and not wanting to understand the message.
There is so much work that needs to be done here to make it more inclusive for the minority. Hi, I'm Sioned Osuhor and I'm the founder of Mxdern Minds. Growing up in Hereford, I was used to people using racial slurs around me, using the N-word around me, blackfacing at parties, and I felt like I had to fit in even more. So I straightened my hair, for example, throughout my childhood because I wanted to just be that little bit more accepted. So Mxdern Minds is a platform to educate people, empower people and let people share their experiences, specifically people from the LGBTQ community, black community and people of colour. Quite a lot of people I know from the black community have suffered, whether that's having to see trauma and very triggering messages and racial abuse, like to the players. That's triggering for us because we know the experience that these people, the black players, are going through. But on a personal note, my brother, he received some very dodgy looks when he was walking through Hightown the day after. And we had to, my mum literally had to send him a message saying, make sure you have your phone out on you just in case you get attacked. And for any mother to send a message like that to her son, it is heartbreaking to watch that as a family member, because it consequently what you're saying is that my brother's life means less than a football match. We have Boris Johnson and Priti Patel with really hard stances on immigration, condemning the Black Lives Matter movement, saying that they don't believe in gesture politics, and then you have Boris Johnson not speaking out against people condemning the black players just taking a knee for their basic human rights. And then now you have Boris Johnson and Priti Patel, even though they started this through policy and politics and through what they have said very publicly, you now have them condemning politics in a very performative way. Jesse Norman needs to make sure that he is calling out and holding his government to account.
Josh Gowling, manager of Hereford Football Club.
So as the manager of Hereford, have you seen or felt like racism within the community at all?
I think football's a weird environment. It's kind of its own community inside itself. So obviously taking a job at a football club, someone that looks like me, opportunities are scarce. So but I think the good thing about the football club is I had frank, honest conversations with the board, the chairman, and they saw me as Josh, they saw my ability, and that's why I got the job, which unfortunate, I would say. It's not often that, well, it's not happening in football, unfortunately. It's happened on the 8th one, so it's not happened a lot. So I'm fortunate that we've got a football club that saw me as just my potential, and that's it. Now, obviously we need to do more. Obviously Herefordshire as a community, it's not that diverse, so obviously we need to kind of bring awareness to it, and I think someone like myself at the football club and players and people coming into the town can really educate and change some of the misconceptions.
I'm Richard Whittingham and I play for Hereford. as soon as they missed it, I knew what was coming. I've just had a son, and for me, it's like, what does that tell my kids? Do I want my kid to be subjected to that? How do I encourage my son to want to be a footballer when you're watching things like that? I think that definitely social media, for me, has made it worse. I think it's given a lot of people a platform to hide behind and just jump on a bandwagon, if I'm being honest with you, because especially events on Sunday, like you see some of the videos and it's just disgusting. You're seeing England fans that are white starting on black England fans because a black player missed a penalty. I mean, that's just ridiculous. But in the same tournament, cheering Raheem Sterling, it's just such naivety. But all of a sudden, I think social media's amplified it in the wrong way for me, and the repercussions of it aren't big enough, aren't great enough, and it does need to be stamped out.
Jadon, and I play for Hereford Football Club. Players that I have played with have told me about their experiences, and obviously you just feel for them because no human being should have to go through what they've gone through.
Yeah.
And all as I can do as a captain is be there for them.
Yeah.
Being here for them to talk to me. If they're feeling down, they come and speak to me, and I'll obviously help them as much as I can. And if they wanted to walk off the pitch like that's been done in the national team before, then I'd happily stand by that. Yeah, of course.
Amazing. And last question, what do you feel about players taking the knee? Do you side with that?
Of course, yeah. And I think it should be in non-league. Well, I think it should be through all forms of the game, all steps of the game. I don't understand why it isn't, because the more people we can get that message out to, then the better.
Yeah. And I'm hoping to make people feel empowered by allowing them to give them a space to share their experiences and their stories. A nice safe space.
All around